friends, welcome to Grow TV. I'm Steve, and this is Stacy's feet. Stace, what are you doing?
Stretching for our challenge today.
Stretching your toes?
Yep, I've been thinking about Adam and Eve walking through the Garden of Eden with their bare feet. I wonder if there were rainy days in the garden when their feet got stuck in the mud. But not just their feet. The paws and hooves, talons and claws of the creatures.
Sure.
Then Adam and Eve would have had to save them, pull them out of the mud. So that's what we're gonna do.
I don't follow.
It's time for the Stuck in the Mud Rescue Challenge.
Well, it looks fun and gross. What do we do?
It's easy, but you're gonna wanna take off your shoes and socks. See, buried in this mud are creatures from God's great creation. Don't worry, they're just stuffed animals. We will each get 30 seconds to see how many creatures we can save by scooping, grabbing, and booting them from the mud into this basket. Because we can only use our feet.
Wait, Adam and Eve had hands.
That you had.
Okay, I'll go first. Place 30 seconds on the clock and go. That wasn't easy. I saved 5. Okay, Steve, your turn. Ready and go.
Whoa, you're right. That wasn't easy. Only being able to use your feet really made it feel like you had to plan your rescue mission. I went with more of a scoop and boot approach.
I try to use my toes to grab the creatures. Both great plans to get these little creatures out of a sticky situation.
You know, speaking of sticky situations, do you remember when Adam and Eve from the Bible made a big mess of things? They made a really bad choice, and God had to come with a plan to rescue them?
Not just them, us too.
Right, but it all started in Genesis 3 with a creature that I'm really glad wasn't hiding in this pool. Stuffed or otherwise. Yuck. A sneaky snake.
Fake! It's fake! It's fake! It's fake!
Stacy, was there ever a rule you wanted to break?
For sure. The dinner then dessert rule, I mean, what is that? It's all going to the same place. Who cares which is first?
I get that. But Stace, I'm sure that the rule is there to make sure you get the most amount of nutrients before you fill up on sweets. You know? Most rules are there to keep us safe and to help us live peacefully. I mean, that's why God gave Adam and Eve the rules in the garden.
We should probably recap a bit. So in the beginning, God made everything. Light, water, land, plants, animals. But out of all of it, humans were the most special. God made people in God's image.
And the very first humans were Adam and Eve. God gave them an amazing place to live.
The Garden of Eden.
Right. It was full of everything they needed, and they had an important job. Genesis 2:15 says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to take care of it."
Sounds fun and kind of hard. What if they could only use their feet?
No. They could use their hands. Anyway, God told Adam and Eve they could eat from any tree in the garden except one. It was called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God warned them that if they ate from it, everything would change.
Let me get this straight. They had all the other trees to eat from, just one to avoid?
Exactly.
Easy, right?
They obeyed and didn't touch the tree for a while, but a sneaky snake came along and started asking questions.
I should have put some slithery snakes in the mud pool.
I'm glad you did it. The snake said to Eve in Genesis 3:1, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?"
Whoa, that's not what God said.
Right. The snake was a liar. And he was trying to trick her. Eve told the snake that they can eat from any tree except that one.
Set that snake straight, Eve.
But the snake had many tricks. He told Eve that God was not being truthful. He said in Genesis 3:5, "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil."
It's a trap. Obviously.
And unfortunately, she fell for it. She took some fruit from the tree and ate it, and gave some to Adam too.
He ate it too? So then everything would change?
Well, Adam and Eve knew it was different right away. In fact, when they heard God walking in the garden, they hid.
From God?
It seems ridiculous, right? But I know I felt like hiding sometimes when I've made bad choices.
I guess, me too.
But God called out, "Where are you?" Of course, God already knew what happened. Genesis 3:11 says, "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?"
Now Adam and Eve would have to admit what they had done and tell God about the snake and how they gave into temptation.
And that's what they did. It was a sad day, but because of their choices, life wouldn't be perfect anymore. Adam and Eve had to leave the garden and things would be harder for them.
But that's not the end of the story, right? I mean, it can't be. Even though Adam and Eve were kind of stuck in the mud, God wouldn't stop loving them.
Right, and that's because of God's great love for all of us. It's not the end of the story. God made a promise. One day, someone would come to fix what was broken.
And we know now that someone was Jesus. God sent Jesus to rescue us and bring us back into a right relationship with God.
So even though Adam and Eve made a bad choice,
Just like we all do.
God had a plan all along, and that plan is Jesus. God made a plan to save us.
So, I love that God rescues us from the mud of our bad decisions and that Jesus puts us back in perfect connection with God.
But
Well, I mean, are we always just making harmful choices, creating a mess, and then being scooped out by God like God-sized toes or something? Is that the whole plan for us?
it's a great question, and the answer is no. Think about it. Adam and Eve were removed from the garden, but not from earth. They were still invited to have a relationship with God and take care of the earth and each other.
So, they were invited to help fix what was broken.
Right. One of the first things Jesus did was invite his friends to help him. It might be the best part of God's saving plan. We get to help.
When we care for creation by recycling or reusing things,
Or conserving water.
or when we care for each other by sharing, being kind, and forgiving.
All of this is part of God's plan to restore what was broken in the garden. Even though Jesus finished the work to save us through his life, death, and resurrection, we get to be part of fixing what was broken in our world.
So it's like God had a plan and still has a plan to save us.
And we get to be part of it. What saving thing can you do today?
It's been fun playing the Stuck in the Mud Rescue Challenge with you.
And discussing a really important Bible story with you.
It's always good to learn and grow together. Bye.